Hi guys, it's Captain Bradford, and I'd like to introduce to you today the Honda S600. No, it's not the 600. It looks like it's got the round lights. It's actually based on the N360, but this is the second generation new Honda N1. We have the RS version. This is not a normal one. It's actually a spooned development test car, but we're going to be talking a little bit about the normal version of RS, which now comes with the 6-speed manual transmission. They didn't have it on the first version, but finally, after a lot of feedback and requests from fans, they have released a 6-speed manual with a new generation engine, new platform, and we're just going to be looking around a little bit, so come and have a closer look. Now, the front is where you'll distinguish the huge difference between the first generation and the second generation. The curves have gone from this part into a more sharp angle going into the grille, and the bumper grille has been widened and it's got a different design with LED lights. These LED lights actually light up in a different way. The spoon version has a experimental grille, which they're going to be designing a different one. But the wonderful part about the new N1 is that it's on a completely new platform, which is also shared with the new Honda N van with a new engine. It's still a 660cc because it is a Kei Car in Japan. The limitation is 660cc with a turbocharger with a maximum 64 horsepower from the factory. The length and the width of the N1 and other Kei cars still fixed within its regulations, but the height can actually go up. So the overall size is still the same as the old model. In fact, a lot of the side panels is still actually the same. If you go down to this way, the A pillar, the doors with the line over here, it's still very similar to the previous model, and they've chose to keep this design because of its popularity, but increased the body rigidity and the suspension design, and of course the way it handles on this new model. Let's come along to the back and we can see also the rear tail lights, how it's a little bit different. The RS model has a nice little wing around here, and on the rear we can see that the design of this is all new, more modernized with LEDs inside. In fact, I'm going to turn it on and you can see how cute this is. There we go. So let's have a look at these tail lights, and we'll press the brakes. It's a very distinctive design. Got the RS badge, which also existed on the previous version, but as I said before, it's got a 6-speed manual, and this is something that fans have been wanting a lot. This vehicle is also taken by Honda into the one make N1 style race that users can actually purchase. They already used this vehicle with the automatic CVT in the previous version, but it's going to be a lot more fun with the 6-speed manual. So let's have a look inside the dashboard and see where it's changed. Now inside it's where it's quite different. Of course, the spoon version has a bucket seat, which is a lot lower, and let's sit more snugly inside. But let's take a look at the dashboard design over here. Completely redesigned differently from the old version. You can see here, you have the 6-speed manual, which is dash mounted. They also did some testing that it should be floor mounted, but they decided to put it here for its ease of operational ability. Very much like the FN2, which is closer to FN2, and also the EP3. It's actually easier to operate. So turn on, and like a modern car, you have all the got a display on this side, and you got the boost meter over there, and a tachometer, and of course the speedometer. Over here is a really nice finished plastic panel with a little different designs. On the RS, it's more like a aluminium kind of finish feel. Aircon vents, one here for the passenger and one here for the driver. They've got two, a little bit passenger oriented, and the nice colors. These orange highlights are only for the RS model. Of course, this is a spoon steering wheel. The original steering wheel has buttons. We've removed it, and the controls are still here actually, all tangled up, but on the original version it will be something like this. So this is where you have all the normal controls for cruise control and the information. Let's have a look at the information over here. So if I change this button over here, I can see all these different displays. Of course, normal things that you have in a normal car, fuel economy, average, and very interestingly, you have the G meter only for the RS, and of course the boost meter. So this is where the improved N1 has a bit more improvement in the cubby space. One here on the floor, you have 3 USB plugs. Interestingly, the left one is for normal and the other 2 on the right says that it's for battery. You have 1 power socket here, 2 cup holders in the center, but also 1 on the driver's side for your drinks. The aircon controls are improved very much from the older model, a bit more classy looking with the center knob, and also buttons with a nice sheen on the top surface, and it also has a digital readout, which just makes it a little bit more modern and a bit more high grade, a little different from the previous model. So we're gonna go for a little test drive and see how this little baby runs. Second gear, revving it up all the way, and we still don't lose your license. I'm just going at normal city speed, a little bit of acceleration. One thing about these modern Kei cars that's very different from the ones from 20 years ago is that the gear ratios are very much like a normal car. You don't rev all the way up to 8,000 just to keep it at 50 kilometers or 60 kilometers an hour. Each gear ratio makes use of the new generation turbo's long stroke engine and the torque to keep it going at city speeds, which is pretty much what Kei cars are designed for. But these new generations can actually get up to mild highway speeds and still keep a reasonable 3,000 RPM in top gear, which is 6-speed for this car, which is very much like a normal 1500 turbocharged Civic these days, and there really isn't that cheapness feeling of a Kei car. Now, of course, you have here the 3-cylinder engine, the spoons exhaust, and it just accentuates that growl, which is a little bit different from Kei cars in the past. Now, a little bit about the cabin experience, the NVH of this car is very much improved. In fact, it really feels like maybe even a fit. There's no rattling coming out from any of the panels. Of course, this is a brand new car, and any road noise from the outside is very much filtered out. The quality and engineering gone into these little things. Plus, you have Honda sensing, you have lane keep assist, you have cruise control, you have a digital aircon, you have LED lights, which has the automatic sensing leveling system that switches off high beam and low beam. You have this really nice display, a good automatic aircon, and seat heaters. Even though this doesn't have the leather seats, there are actually seat heaters in this car. Over here, the passenger's going to get a little warm now, but yet you have seat heaters for the passenger and also the driver. This is something that really makes it very premium feeling compared to Kei cars of the past. An asking price for almost 2 million yen is very expensive in some people's minds. In fact, 2 million yen was the price of a Civic Type R EK9 back in 1997. But the average price of normal cars these days have actually gone up a lot, and all that money has gone into new equipment. But driving this on the road really makes me understand where all that money's gone to. This is a Kei car that you can drive in the city. The engine stop, there's also idling stop. Through the city, you can go for a quick drive in the town, even have a lot of fun on the touge. We're going to be reviewing it on the touge roads in the next couple of days, so stay tuned. Now, obviously, being a Kei car, there are limits to the maximum length, and most Kei car makers have gone to the extreme by putting the wheels at two extreme corners, which means modern Kei cars also have very large space in the rear. We're going to take a look at how wide and how spacious it is. Now, the N1 second generation open doors in 3 steps, and it's almost 90 degrees, which gives a lot of egress. Looking here at the space, I'm just going to sit inside. Of course, with the front bucket seats, the normal seats are like this kind of thickness. There's a lot of space, even more than maybe some normal conventional sedans or hatchbacks. A lot of space for a Kei, which means, you know, a family could just use this with their daily life. But that's not all. The N1 is actually based on the same sort of platform as the Honda Fit, which has the fuel tank underneath the front seats. The reason for this, not only does it give superior handling because there's double sandwich floor construction, giving it the floor stiffer rigidity, and also putting the center of gravity right in front, but it has this function. It's called the tall boy mode, which the rear seat can actually fold up like this, and it gives you a tall boy mode which can fit in maybe flower pots. But this is one feature that started on the first generation Fit and was carried over to the Kei Car models for the first time. Let's also have a look at the trunk. How big is it really? Very limited space for this kind of class. The hatch folds up. It's not very high, which is good for Japanese people who are not really that tall. Seats fold down. Let's have a look here. The seats fold flat, but you have enough space if you want to put long things. The space that you're going to have for just normal shopping right here. Well, admittingly, you can't really do more than any sort of grocery shopping, but there is more hidden space underneath. No spare tire. It comes with a tire repair kit. You see the pump over here and the liquid to put in to the tires, enough to put our camera bag and the tools for the jack is underneath. But yeah, there's all these hidden things, and this actually also has a little hook, which where does this go? I don't know where you hold this open for. Now the engine is a 660cc 3-cylinder with a turbocharger, and the maximum horsepower of 64 horsepower, which is the limit by regulations for the Japanese land transport. Admittingly, these cars can be tuned for further power, which is done already, in the 90s. You have over 100 horsepower cappuccinos, and Spoon also has the S6660, which we reviewed in our previous video, that had over 100 horsepower, and this is a new generation engine called the S07B. The A, which is used in all the previous new generation N and the S660, this has actually a longer stroke, a stroke ratio of 1.283, which is an extra long stroke, giving a lot of low-end torque, which combined with the turbocharger gives maximum torque at 2,600 RPM. This extra length in the stroke also means that the engine is taller, but on a Kei car like this, which already has a very high waistline, it doesn't really matter. You can see here just how compact this engine is. This is the turbocharger. This one has removed the original grille. The original plastic covering has a shield covering the front of the turbocharger. This obviously has more cooling to it, but everything comes right past the radiator support grille, and it's very tight. The ECU's over here, small little battery, the air intake, which has a big scoop coming in right from the grille, and just driving this makes it feel it's more like a 1 liter, 1.3 liter, the way the torque just comes out. Very, very different from any 660cc turbocharged engine. Honda's really done a fantastic job of making modern Kei cars just as drivable as normal cars. So we hope you enjoyed that really quick review, first look and drive of the Honda N1 RS, this Kei car, and we're going to be doing a full review of the Spoon spec and all the modifications done to it in the next episode. So let us know in the comments if you'd like us to try any other Kei cars or other strange JDM cars that you guys would love to see reviewed. Until next time, peace out.